global news update on top Accolade News. In a world fracturing along fault lines of flags, fortunes, and forgotten promises, tonight's headlines frame a simple truth. Power's grip slips when symbols clash and justice bends. From French town hall defying bans to a late-night host silenced by the state, these stories are warnings that democracy's pulse weakens when voices are muffled and borders slurred. Let's dive in. Legal battles erupt as French cities defy ban on Palestinian flags. Ex-First Lady of South Korea faces corruption trial. US pushes ASEAN trade deal. New Zealand unveils new residency pathways to attract migrant workers. First, across the Atlantic, a flag flies as the fist of defiance, exposing cracks in France's facade of unity. Dozens of French town halls flew the Palestinian flag after President Emmanuel Macron recognized Palestine, despite the Interior Ministry banning the gesture under neutrality laws. Several cities later removed flags following legal actions. Mayors accused the government of double standards, noting Ukrainian flags face no such restrictions, while white groups called neutrality a cover for political convenience. The clash exposed a rift between state symbolism and local solidarity, proof that when neutrality is enforced unevenly, it ceases to be neutral at all. Hypocrisy's shadow stretches east, where even a First Lady's crown can shield her from the law's long arm. In Seoul, Keon, wife of ousted President Yoon Suk-yeol, stepped in court today for her first hearing on charges of bribery, stock manipulation, and meddling in party picks, scandal laced with luxury gifts and Unification Church ties she fiercely denies. This follows Yoon's own trial over his failed martial law bid, gripping a nation still reeling from the power grab. Power's perks evaporate fast when accountability calls. In Korea's corridor of privilege, even ex-royalty learns no scepter stops the scales of justice from tipping towards truth. From courtroom drama to trade tightropes, America's tariff tangle is squeezing Southeast Asia's economic heartbeat. U.S. Trade Rep Jameson Green announced today that Washington eyes final deals with more ASEAN nations soon, even as 20 to 40% tariff loom large, potentially costing Vietnam $25 billion yearly in exports, with semis facing 100% hits. ASEAN ministers warn of 2025 trade slowdowns as factories from Hanoi to Jakarta brace for the squeeze. Protectionism's promise of balance rings hollow amid shattered supply chains. When Uncle Sam slaps tariff like sanctions, it doesn't build walls, it buries bridges, leaving workers on both sides wondering who's really winning. Half a world away, another island nation grapples with a ghost of its own, trade exodus from outsiders to stem the bleed. New Zealand will introduce 2 new residency pathways from mid-2026 to attract skilled migrants and tradespeople, aiming to plug labor shortages as record numbers of citizens leave and GDP shrinks. While business groups welcome the move, coalition partner New Zealand First opposed it, warning that the country risks becoming a stepping stone into Australia. The policy underscores a national dilemma. When a nation loses its people faster than it gains them, even opportunity feels like exile. You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Desperation's echo boom in war zones, where one leader's bold vow could rewrite the map, or just rewrite the rhetoric. US President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that Ukraine could retake all Russian-occupied lands, including Crimea, citing Moscow's big economic trouble after meeting President Zelensky at the UN General Assembly. While Trump pledged continued weapon supply through NATO, it stopped short of announcing tougher sanctions despite Kyiv's demand. Europe's Kaja Kallas hailed the remarks as a breakthrough, though critics warn it may prove fleeting. Trump's reversal from urgent territorial concessions to calling Russia a paper tiger marked a dramatic rhetoric shift. Yet, as one former US diplomat put it, if words don't become action, then they are only wind. Now to Gaza, where UN halls rang with horror over bombs that know no mercy. Israeli strike killed over 50 people in Gaza City alone this week, pushing the toll past 65,000 Palestinians since October 2023. The UN slamming terror tactics fueling mass flight amid hospital field crisis and global fury at the assembly. Leaders beg for halt, but Tel Aviv digs in, eyeing uprooting hundreds of thousands more. Dialogue's death sentence is etched in rubble and grief. When airstrikes drown out appeals, it's not strategy, it's savagery, turning civilians into statistics and humanity into history's harshest footnote. From wars wailed to comedy's chokehold, where laughter turned to lawsuits in America's cultural coliseum, Jimmy Kimmel returned to late-night TV after a brief suspension over remarks about the murder of activist Charlie Kirk, defending free speech and accusing regulators of mob tactics. His comeback drew cheers from Hollywood, but faced pushback as affiliate Nexter and Sinclair, controlling 20% of ABC stations, refused to air the episode. Kimmel wept while clarifying his intent and praised Erica Kirk's forgiveness and blasted Trump for celebrating job losses, calling it un-American and dangerous. The clash underscored a broader battle over comedy, politics, and censorship. When free speech is throttled, democracy gasps for air. And finally on the pitch where glory is bought and sold, a ghost dodges the goal line one last time. Trinidad and Tobago's top court ruled on Tuesday that ex-FIFA Vice President Jack Warner will not be extradited to the US to face bribery charges tied to Russia's 2018 World Cup bid, despite decades of corruption allegations. Warner, banned from football for life, maintained his innocence, while critics say the decision leaves the beautiful game forever scarred by its ugliest shadows. Tonight, from fluttering flags to fading laughs, these threads weave a tapestry of tension where human heartbeats clash against hardened lines. At the top Accolade News, we trace the truth not for headlines, but for lives they touch. Stay vigilant. The story is just beginning. I am Ojarime Okocha. Do have a wonderful day.